deployment of forces over there, and so with the fifth column, I think, the military people under the name of the area gave the trouble to Vietnam. And Mao Zedong in 1954 said that the first step they would take South Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, and Myanmar, and after taking over, and then they moved south. And later on, in 2005, General Chi Hao Dien, the defense minister of China, wrote a long article mapping out strategy to attack America with the so-called New Earth biochemistry weapon. So he said that China now has 1.3 million people, so the land of China is just enough for 500 million people, and so they need to move out 800 million. In case if they fail in the attack, so half of the population would be killed. So they said it is fine, it's okay with the program. And so they want to move their people, 800 million people, to America and also to Australia. So I stop here.
Thank you. So we come to a quick discussion. We'll do about 20 minutes or so. Just for a bit of further explanation, because obviously what you're suggesting here is that Vietnam either was forced to or voluntarily agreed to not contest China's claims over these islands. But as you know, China and Vietnam fought a war in the mid-1970s. So China and Vietnam fought a war in the mid-1970s. Why do you think 10 or so years later Hanoi is willing to make concessions to China over these islands? Let's speak to the back of the room.
In 1975, 79, Vietnam and China fought a war. The reason was that at that time the Communist Party of Vietnam moved to side with the Soviet Union, and Soviet Union support them to attack, to defend the move of China to move south, because it would cut off the influence of Soviet Union in the region. And so, as you know that after they took over South Vietnam, the Hanoi regime made a lot of concession to the Soviet Union. They received something like $14.5 billion for the fifth year plan. From 86 to 90, and so because the Soviet Union intended to reduce the cut off the aid, and then Hanoi look for a way to survive, and so they come back to China. And in 1990, something like in September 1990, Pham Van Dong was a premier, and at that time he was a counselor to the Central Committee. And Secretary General Nguyen van Canh and Premier Lô Mới secretly went to China and asked for reconciliation between the two, and also asked for re-establishment of the diplomatic relation between the two countries. And Deng Xiaoping promised to give $2 billion to Hanoi, and then the move to side with China from them. And so after a decade, we found out that the Hanoi signed a treaty with PIG in order to make concession, a lot of concession along the borders. About 1,435 kilometers and concession in An in Gai and a long range of mountain right here, strategic viewpoint of Vietnam, and so they took it, and also in Cao Bang right here. So at least 2 range of mountain, another part they gave it to China. And I just mentioned about the bay, 11,000 kilometers in China. And the Paracels and Spratlys, I just made a presentation about the military installation built by China. And so it appears that there is some agreement, tacit agreement of Hanoi, because they made no strong objection, just some hollow statement saying that those belonging to Vietnam from historical viewpoint, from legal viewpoint, but they did not take any action at all.
Dr. Nguyen, you've shown us a lot of maps detailing the Vietnamese claim and the Chinese claim, and you haven't mentioned the Philippines. I gather they've got a claim to part of the territory too. But claims that are simply on paper, on maps, in international law is not enough. Is there some evidence of Vietnamese activity on these islands? I understand they have no permanent populations, but is there evidence of economic activity, fishing, exploitation of resources, legislative acts, and so on? In other words, what does the Vietnamese claim, on what is based the Vietnamese claim, apart from some ancient maps?
The Vietnamese claim back to 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries. And there were a lot of activities by the King of Vietnam over the area, and they sent troops to Paracels in the north of the area, and to collect dues and collected to do fishing and those kind of things. They stationed, I think that about 20, sometimes 60 people, military people in Paracels. And until the French occupation, and so France did send some people there to control the area too. And so there were a lot of activity to exercise sovereignty of the area and why right now. And so some people from some island were occupied by the Philippines. I think that 8 of them. Malaysia, 6 of them were occupied by Malaysia. There were activities to exercise the sovereignty of the island on the power.
So the claimants are China, Vietnam, Philippines, Malaysia, and Taiwan.
Yes.
And Brunei.
Brunei.
No, Brunei claim, but no occupation any island at all. Taiwan, one island, Itu Baba, yes, only one island.
Just to continue from the last question, what role do resources, natural resources, play in this whole thing?
Yeah, firstly, the drop the birds and a lot of for fertilizer in Paracels. Second thing is that fishing, a lot of fish, and just like in July 2007, some fishing